Hello and welcome to On the Kerbs. I'm your host, Team Albers Daily. Joining me this week is W Series 2022 rookie Bianca Bustamante. We caught up ahead of the first round of the W Series season in Miami to chat about what got her into motorsport to begin with, which race she's most looking forward to this year, her love for cycling away from motorsport, and much more. So, without any further ado, let's just get straight into it, and I hope you enjoy our conversation. So, hi Bianca, thanks for being here today. First of all, how are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing good. I just got back from gym actually.
Getting into training ready for the beginning of the season then already.
Yep, preparing. Since I came back home here in the Philippines, I kind of took the time to refresh and fuel. Now I'm back to working out.
I say not long to go now. I mean, it's April when we're recording this, but again, May will probably be here in no time at all. So,
yeah, the season's coming in pretty quickly.
But before we get into all that excitement, because I mean, we could easily get lost with that. What first got you into motorsport?
So, my dad, he was a karter actually. So it kind of ran in the family. Like my uncle and my godfather, he was a coach in karting. So everything that it kind of resonated with me. You know, having a dad that raced, he would bring me along during his racing time. So I would see him race, and eventually I picked it up and told him that it's something that I wanted to do, and then he got me a baby cart at the age of 3 years old, and then that's my first memory of ever driving a cart. And then I practiced every single day. I was at track. I just loved it. I loved growing up at the racetrack. And then by the time I was 6 years old, that's when I started competing.
You wasted no time at all then.
No time wasted.
So then, before obviously what you're doing now, do you have a favorite racing memory from that time growing up? You say, I mean, it seems like you basically just came out karting, basically.
Yeah. So coming from karting, I made a lot of memories. You know, I've raced a lot in Asia. You know, I've won the championship, Asian karting championship. I did a lot as well in America. You know, I actually used to live there. I mean, I lived before in San Jose, so we spent a lot of time, me and my dad, just karting there in California, gaining a lot of experience. And I also tried my luck in Dubai and Australia. So I guess that's kind of what helped me in transitioning into Formula Car, is because I had such a good background in karting, you know, having a lot of experience.
I was going to say, yeah, it definitely sounds like just grabbing every opportunity where you can and just seeing what you can do, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of what happened with the W Series. You know, never having sort of a background in Formula Car. You know, I've never even driven an F4 yet when I got there. And, you know, but they invited me over for the Arizona shootout because they saw that I had a lot of potential. And they said that they wanted to give me an opportunity no one else would. But of course, I had to show my speed. I had to show my potential, and that I'm willing to progress and learn quickly. And I did. You know, I went there. I was definitely not the fastest at first out of the 15 drivers they got, but at the end of the day, I was the quickest and most improved. And I guess that really what matters is that I peaked when I should, and that eventually led me into getting into the preseason test.
I was going to say, I mean, you say you're invited there. You didn't have a lot of experience in that kind of racing up to that point. So, from your perspective, sorry, what was the whole Arizona experience like? You're out there in the desert with just some women that you may not have met before, and just going for it, you're thinking, I've got nothing to lose here. I might as well just give it a go.
Yeah, definitely it was shocking to me, you know, like just seeing, like, there was a lot of girls. That was eventually my first thought. I was like, there's a lot of girls, and that's not very often that you see a lot of girls piled up all together. But I knew most of them. I mean, I've watched most of them since they've done a series. Like Lana Bueller, she's done an F3 season, an Asian F3, and now she's doing Formula Regional. So most of them have vast amount of experience and a lot of years in the car, a lot of years in the Formula, a lot of years in the F4 and other championship. And then I went there and I was the only one. I mean, that has never even driven the car.
No pressure.
And in head, in my head, I was just thinking, I'm the least experienced driver here. And it's either I do really good or I'm gonna crash the car, because that's really what's like the initial, like initial process in my head. It's either I impress everyone or I'm gonna crash the car and embarrass myself. But thankfully, it went my way.
Luckily, it was the first one.
I could. But thankfully, there were no crashing.
So you say you've watched a few of the other drivers that were there in when they've been off racing and doing their own thing. Was there kind of a bit of like, what am I doing here kind of moment there? Because like you said, you've seen them racing. It's like, am I here just to watch? Have they made a mistake? Or how long did you have those kind of feelings? Or
that was actually when my manager told me that, oh, I got you this Arizona shootout and you're gonna drive an F4 car and then you might eventually get a seat in the W Series. I was just saying, you mean like me? It's like, is this like sort of a joke or something, or a prank? I don't know, because it was sort of like my birthday. I mean, when he told me that I got the seat, it was leading up to my birthday, so I was thinking maybe he's just getting my hopes up for a birthday present, or I don't know, just like something not serious at all. So I didn't take it seriously until he booked my flight. That's when I knew that I'm actually gonna go.
So at that point, it's either a really good manager or it's a hell of a prank.
Yeah, I love a prank. I mean, I was like, this is too early for April. This is too early. So I went there and I was just thinking, what if I'm just not good enough? I mean, the girls there, they were very experienced, and I was the youngest one there. So that meant that I didn't have a lot of time to still, I was still in a phase where I still grow and progress, while most of the girls, that's basically their top, that's their peak. So for me, it was a lot of learning. So every day I was learning new things, progressing, continuous growth. I mean, when I got there, I didn't even know how to start the car or put it on first gear. That's the situation I was in. I had to learn everything. I had to learn how to use the radio. I had to learn how to start the car, put it on neutral, put it on reverse, like the real basic stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but I've even stalled going out of the pits a few times.
It's better make the mistakes in the testing than in actual racing. So that's important. You're getting all that stuff out of the way now.
It's normal.
I was going to say, then you've obviously then since been confirmed to be in the academy team for W Series, which guarantees you 2 years in there, which again is probably you pinching yourself slightly. How much does that opportunity mean to you?
I mean, a lot. I went from being just grateful to be even in the shootout to having 2 years in the series. So it's a bit of a big jump. So I'm obviously really, really grateful that they see my potential and that they're trusting me. They're putting their trust on me, that I will continuously grow in the series, and that they told me that they see me growing and being successful outside of W Series. That's why they're giving me this sort of support. It's not just the 2 season in W Series, it's the support, my fitness, my driving. I know I've got my own race engineer compared to the other girls, where they have to sort of to reverse or switch race engineers every other race. So for me, I've got my own personal one, my own coach, and my media training and everything, my diet. So it's basically just molding me into eventually reaching the top level of motorsport, outside of W Series. So for them to see me as sort of that rising star is definitely a confidence boost. And I'm grateful, because then now I really have everything I need to make it. And it's up to me now to make the most of it and to learn as much as I can.
I was going to say, I was thinking just now when you're saying about the testing and as well here with the 2-year contract, and from what I've seen with other drivers, do you feel under less pressure then to perform immediately, or or that it's not as bad if it doesn't all go to plan immediately, say in the first couple of races, because you've got this certainty that you were there for a couple of years, in the same way in the test that you were the most inexperienced, but in that way you didn't have anything to lose and you had everything to just kind of gain from it. Is there less pressure on you as a result of that, or are you super strict on yourself?
There's always you always put so much pressure on yourself. There's never a moment where I myself cool down. I mean, I am thankful that this, like having the 2 years just means that I can make mistakes and get away from it, like get away, and not be blamed because I'm a rookie. But that doesn't mean that I won't blame myself. I'm still very much hard on myself, even having that kind of getaway pass of making mistakes. I will still do my best to be competitive this year. Being a rookie doesn't mean that I'm not gonna be aiming for that top spot. But
I was gonna say the rookies last year were pretty impressive. So
yeah, and I want to keep that sort of momentum going. I want to perform as well as I can. Like, for example, Abby Pooling, she got a podium. She even qualified pole in her rookie year in the W Series. So I want to continue on that. I want to start this year good. I want to start my first year in a Formula car good. And having the backing of W Series and the whole team is definitely boosting me a lot. And even though all of that, I'm still going to be hard on myself, though.
So it's again, like you say, there's a certain kind of pressure on it, but again, at least for at least the first year that even though you're going to probably put some stuff on yourself, it's not the end of the world kind of thing. I know I'm being very doom everything's going to go to plan anyway, so
Yeah. This year's going to be really, really confident. Everyone's just vying for that championship. And, when I went to Barcelona, there was a lot of really competitive and quick drivers that, I wasn't expecting that were going to be really quick. They were topping the timesheet. Aside from Jamie, there was a few other drivers that, were rookie last year, but now they're really competitive and, they've really molded themselves and improved themselves over the year. And now they're definitely going to go for that championship. So watching them firsthand on how they operate I take that as a big learning opportunity because I can learn from the best.
So you're there taking notes and right, this is how I beat them in this corner and this corner.
I mean, I'm definitely known to take a lot of notes. So yeah.
As well, then you're partnered with Juju Noda, who's the other rookie this year. Have you spent much time with her at all? And if so, what's the dynamic like between you two as the new kids on the block?
Yeah, we're the new kids in the block, and I guess the new kids kind of mingle together, and then the veterans are together. So yeah, I definitely got time to get to know Juju, talk to her several times, and exchange conversations. But I wasn't expecting that we would be teammates. I mean, I was hoping for it, but I didn't realize that they would put two rookies together because like how the partnership or the teammates go is that one is a veteran and then one's a rookie. Like with Jamie, she was partnered with Chloe Chambers, a rookie, or with Emma, she was partnered with Teresa Bobikova, a rookie. But both of us are rookies, so it's definitely good because at least I'll have someone that understands what I'm going through. Being a rookie, we can exchange data and everything. And being Asian, both of us being Asian, it definitely connects us together and we have that sort of bond. And she's an amazing woman. She's so sweet and it's going to be so fun working with her.
I was going to say then as well, you're saying you're going to just go for it, which fair enough. Why not this first season? But what are your kind of first ambitions for the year then?
Well, the goal for this year is to, eventually reach the top spot on the podium. I mean, hopefully, I know it's going to be a lot of work though, and a lot of learning, especially most of the girls have driven in the tracks we're driving in, and it's only me that's going to be driving on it for the first time. And as everyone knows, W Series only does 30 minutes practice, and then it's quali and the race. So I've got 30 minutes to learn the track, get to feel, and then we're off to quali. And as
Throw
a
you in the
rookie,
deep
that's
end
definitely
again.
it's thrown into the deep end. So it's gonna be really, really, really tough, especially the tracks that we're gonna be driving in. It's not easy. Everyone has seen Paul Rickard, the track's crazy. You don't know where you're going. So that's definitely gonna be one of the tough part of this year, learning the track and maximizing it, maximizing the car. But yeah.
I suppose the advantage of the first two races at least is that they're both in Miami and no one's been there before, so you're at least on level playing field for that one.
Yeah, and that's why I'm very much looking forward to Miami. It's purely because it sort of puts us all in an equal playing field. No one knows the track, no one's driven there before. We only got our simulator to rely on. So I guess it's just who adapts to it the fastest will eventually be the fastest. And I do hope that I get to show some speed with this circumstance. Yeah.
And so by the time you do the first race, I think there should have been some F1 practice sessions, so should be a bit more grip on the track for you as well. Help with that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I was sort of still shocked at, because I've never seen an F1 Grand Prix like firsthand. I've never experienced it, and now I'm off to my first race and racing the same day as F1. So that's gonna be a dream. It's mind blowing, a dream come true. I went from wishing that I get to watch F1 in real life to racing alongside them. So that's I'm sort of like living this fairy tale that I have in my head. It's a sort of dream.
Oh, very, very much so. I was going to say, then, is Miami the race you're most looking forward to as it's the start of the season, or is there another one later on in the calendar that you're really looking forward to?
Well, for me, all of the racing that I'll be going through is definitely a first. First time in Paul Ricard, first time in Barcelona. But if there was one track that I've always been driving on the sim, just because of how amazing it is, it would be Suzuka. I really love Japan. I love the culture and I love the place and I love that we get to race there.
So yeah, it's going to be great to go back there again. I'm looking forward to seeing all the W Series cars there as well. It's that could be quite a good race, I think. Shame we got to wait.
Oh yeah. Hopefully it doesn't rain.
You might hope it doesn't rain. Me, as a spectator, I'll see close to the time.
Everyone wants to see the rain.
And then as well, aside from racing, you love cycling. How did that come about, and how much have you kind of tried to incorporate that into your training so you can get more of that?
Yeah, I've recently gotten into cycling just because of how much it trains you. I feel like cycling is very similar to driving. You're driving and you're pedaling in complete exhaustion. You're not stopping. You have to keep going. You sort of have a goal to reach, and once you reach it, that's the only time you can stop and rest. And it definitely builds up not just your cardio, but your sort of willpower. To keep on going, to keep on pedaling, even when you're really out of breath and you feel like you're gonna pass out. So it trains you mentally as well to keep on going, to push past your physical barrier, that from your comfort zone to your deepest, lowest, most exhausting exhausting part of your routine. So yeah, I've done to include cycling in part of my sort of workout regimens, just because of that. And I love cycling because I kind of feel like it makes me sort of fly, especially when you're just going downhill after a long time up. It's just so relaxing. It feels so free. It feels really similar to driving.
Are you going to be one of those drivers that we see cycling out on the racetrack on a race weekend as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's actually a funny story. So we went to Arizona, and so we got there the first day. We were allowed to do a track walk, and I had my coach with me, and he was like, So it was like, we need to walk the track, and I was like, yeah, sure. I walked the track, and then after one lap, he told me, now you have to run the track because that's what professional drivers do. And I was like, no, they don't. They have scooters. But I couldn't fight my way out of it, and he made me run the whole track. And man, that was tiring. And
I'm gonna say, depending what time of day that was, that could have been quite something.
No, I was out of breath. I think I did it in under 20 minutes or something. And it was very long, lots of elevation.
So it probably felt like longer than 20 minutes, but
oh, it felt like forever. I felt like I was never gonna finish it. So yeah, Arizona is very memorable to me because of that.
If they ever go racing there, you're going to know it very well by the time you get there.
Oh yeah, I will know. I'll know the elevation and the part where it slopes, just because I knew that I was so tired, especially at that point.
A couple of fun questions, and just to finish off, that have absolutely nothing to do with racing. If you could have dinner with any two celebrities, which two would you choose and why?
That's tough. Oh my gosh.
There's always the non-racing questions to catch out the racing drivers.
I think racing questions are easier to answer. This one's always makes me black out, and like mentally, it's like I can't think of anyone. But I'm a big Marvel fan, so I definitely want to have dinner with Thor and maybe Captain America, Chris Evans, and
so the two Chris Evans.
Yeah, the two Chris's.
So not too bad. It'd be interesting dinner conversation, I think, there at least. So just asking the fan questions the whole evening.
Yeah, I'm a huge Marvel fan.
I'm going to say that last question then, which probably won't be a Marvel film, but what is the worst film you've ever seen?
Worst film?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, no. Well, I would say horror movies, or like Conjuring, or like The Nun. Just anything really scary, because I hate watching scary movies. I'm terrified of it. I can't even sleep with lights, without lights. I always gotta have one light on. But my mom loves it. She loves it. So whenever I do something, naughty or bad, my mom would always make me watch it with her, just so I can make it up. So I kind of have to do it to bond with her.
But so I imagine Halloween could be fun in your house then.
No, Halloween is just not for me.
Well, I'll leave it at that then before we traumatize you too much more and we'll let you focus on the racing. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today, and I want to wish you the best of luck for the whole of W Series season. It's going to be great to see what you can do.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for listening to my stories, and I do hope that you continue supporting, for Women in Motorsport and me as well. And thank you so much.
Thanks again to Bianca for coming onto the Kerbs with me, and I wish her the best of luck for the 2022 W Series season. Join me again soon when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out the other videos on the On the Kerbs YouTube channel, and listen to me talk about Formula 1, amongst other things, over on the Undercut podcast. Away from YouTube, you can follow me over on Instagram at t.albers.daily.onthekerbs and read my various motorsport articles over on Is It Fast, Paddock Sorority, and Supercar Blondie. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next week for the next episode.